If life were some kind of game show, then Betty White might very well be the winner. Hear me out. Betty won the hearts and admiration of millions of fans across the globe as the star of beloved shows like The Mary Tyer Moore Show and The Golden Girls. And ever since that 2010 Super Bowl Snickers commercial, her career has experienced a massive resurgence, and a whole new generation has been introduced to the legendary actress turned cultural icon. After winning over a new legion of devoted fans, she went on to make history by becoming the oldest Saturday Night Live host in the show's 45-year run. She even won an Emmy for that performance. White's illustrious career is not the only reason why so many people have become so enamored of her. Betty's personality is also uncannily magnetic. She's kind-hearted, fun-loving, witty as can be, and sharp as a whip. Betty's now 98, and her professional career has spanned more than 80 years. And, in case you're wondering, retirement is still something she considers off the table. She'll probably be acting right up until the day she dies, and that's exactly what she wants. She told Parade magazine in 2018 she feels so lucky to have the career she's had and that she's loved every minute of it. Before she was everyone's favorite Golden Girl, Betty proved she was more than just a talented actress. Most people aren't aware of it, but White is actually quite the skilled game show contestant. Now, that might not be the biggest revelation in Hollywood history, but it is an unexpectedly integral component of her story. You'll see what we mean in a minute, so make sure you keep watching to find out the Betty White history that often is overlooked by those who tell her tale. Betty's first appearance on TV was a fluke. Betty Marion White was born January 17, 1922. When she was still a child, she already knew what she wanted to do with her life. At first, she wanted to be a writer, but after she wrote herself into the lead role of her high school graduation play at Horace Mann Grammar School in the Bronx, she knew she wanted to be an actress. She had contracted what she called showbiz fever, and there proved to be no cure for that affliction. The first time Betty appeared on TV was actually the result of sheer chance. After she finished singing at her high school graduation, she was chosen to be one of 2 students to take part in some kind of experimental TV transmission in 1939. She never volunteered, it just kind of happened. The transmission was a success, but it certainly wasn't far-reaching. The feed was only transmitted through 6 floors of a single building. It's not that exciting, but it was White's first taste at being on screen. 10 years later, in 1949, after spending several years brushing up on her radio skills, White landed her first paid job in television. After making an appearance on The Dick Haynes Show, she secured a recurring guest spot on the Tom, Dick, and Harry comedy variety show. Even though that show was short-lived, it helped White land another job at the same station. Working there proved to be one of the most influential chapters of her early career. A producer told White not to reveal her salary. The station White worked for was developing a new game show concept called Grab Your Phone. 4 girls were put on a panel and each one was given a telephone that sat on the counter in front of them. Wes Battersea, the show's host, would ask the audience a question, and the girls would pick up the phone as viewers at home would call in with their answers. White described the show as looking something like some kind of miniature telethon, but instead of taking pledges, they were giving lucky callers $5 for each correct answer. Before the pilot was even filmed, White was pulled aside by one of the producers and told not to tell the other girls what she was being paid. She was getting $20 a week, while the other girls were getting $10. That's because White sat on the end of the panel and ad-libbed with West. She stood out from the rest of the girls because of her sense of humor and charm. White decided it was in her best interest to keep her mouth shut about her salary, even though, in the back of her mind, she wondered whether all the girls were told not to disclose their salaries as well. Maybe she was the one being paid less than the rest. Regardless, when the camera started rolling, it became clear White was destined for show business. She had a natural knack for being on game shows, and that was just the beginning of it. White's love for games started early on. Competing on live television game shows seemed to come naturally for White, and she attributes that to the fact she grew up playing board games with her family. And since she's always had the innate instinct to deliver witty commentary when the moment is right, she seemed destined to be the perfect game show contestant. White would regularly play games with her mother and father when she was a child. Her family loved making up games to play as well. It didn't matter where they were or what they were doing. Games were a constant part of her formative years. Whether they were playing road games, cruising down the highway, or playing tabletop games in the kitchen, it was one constant in White's childhood that she looks back on particularly fondly. So when she got the opportunity to go on TV and spend a couple hours every week playing games with pleasant people, she considered the fact that she got paid to do it just an added bonus. After participating in the panel for Grab Your Phone, Betty developed a lifelong obsession with the genre. For the next several decades, she would become the reigning queen of television game shows. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to our channel. And keep watching to learn how Betty White went from being a guest panelist on an obscure local game show to the highly celebrated cultural icon she is today. Appearing on Grab Your Phone opened several doors for her. LA DJ Al Jarvis caught a couple of episodes of the local Grab Your Phone game show while he was developing a daytime TV show called Hollywood on Television. He was running out of time and desperately needed a girl Friday, or an assistant as we'd call it today, ASAP. He offered the job to White, and she replied she would not only be his girl Friday, but she was also willing to be his girl Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. She knew Jarvis had plans to make his show a daily thing and thought she'd be perfect for the position. Jarvis was impressed by her witty reply and commended her for the way she vibed with Wes Battersea on Grab Your Phone. He extended her an offer of $50 a week to join the show, and of course, she promptly accepted. Little did she know at the time, she had just started a lifelong love affair with TV that would span over 8 decades. White met her husband on a game show. After finding success in Hollywood on TV, Betty would go on to co-found Bandy Productions. She quickly got started developing her own projects, which included producing and starring in the groundbreaking sitcom Life with Elizabeth in 1953. From there, she went on to star on Date with Angels in '57, The Mary Tyer Moore Show in '73, and of course, The Golden Girls in '85. But all throughout that journey, she maintained her love for game shows. She's appeared in over 50 of them, including To Tell the Truth, What's My Line, You Don't Say, and The $25,000 Pyramid. She even hosted 65 episodes of her own game show in 1983 called Just Men. She won an Emmy Award for her work on that show as well. Game shows have given Betty far more than just fun and games. White actually met her husband while a contestant on Password. When she met host Alan Ludden, the two immediately hit it off. They got married in 1963. After White and Ludden got married, they didn't even have time to take a honeymoon because of Ludden's obligations to Password. But as a wedding present, Jack Parr came on the show as a guest. They had always wanted him on the program, but he kept turning down the offer. When he finally agreed to pay a visit, he ended up playing the opposing player. While it was her love of performing that drew Betty to pursue a career as a thespian, it was her adoration for television, and specifically game shows, that brought her to some of the most pivotal moments of her career and personal life. With the longest TV career of any living performer, Betty White has proved time and time again she's one of a kind. And hopefully she'll keep on kicking for a while. We could talk about Betty White all day, but alas, we've reached the end of another Facts-tastic video. We'd love to hear from you though. Who's your favorite Betty White role? Sue Ann Nivens on The Mary Tyer Moore Show? Or Rose Nylund on The Golden Girls? Leave your opinion in the comments section below, and don't be afraid to post your favorite Betty White memories while you're at it. Before you go, make sure you give us a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Tap the bell icon to turn on notifications so you can keep up with all our latest videos.